Hey everyone, I am at my cutting table and I am at my favorite part. This is where we get to add embroidery to the project. Now, unfortunately, I don't get to do a lot of embroidery. I don't know why. Maybe I just don't think about it when I'm making my garments, but this particular jacket is going to be perfect to embellish with embroidery. If you have an embroidery machine, then, pull it out, start thinking about some of these things you can use to embellish your clothes. But as with anything, if you're making an embroidery design on a ready-to-wear garment, it's always a little bit harder with ready to wear because, for example, if you have a ready to wear t-shirt, meaning you bought it at the store, or a tank top or something that you want to embellish, you've got to get that right the first time. There's no going back because once you start, you're all the way into it. But what I hate about embellishing ready to wear is, for example, if I'm doing a neckline, and that neckline, if I don't get perfect placement of that embroidery design, it's going to look crooked, and then it bothers me. And if it's just a little bit off, maybe other people won't notice, but if it's off a lot, somebody's going to notice. There are a lot of techniques, there are a lot of tools you can use to get perfect placement for your embroidery designs. I know over at Designs in Machine Embroidery, also known as Dime, they have a lot of these tools and techniques that you can use. I do have a machine that has a camera feature as well as a snowman sticker, so I don't worry about perfect positioning. I just need to get my crosshairs on my piece of fabric right here, and I'm going to show you how I go about in doing that. Let me pull my pattern pieces into view, and the ones that I have cut out, I have the, let's see, this one is the front panel. I have this cut out. And what you're going to see is on the body, this is the great thing about using the PDF patterns, the independents from the companies that have the downloadable patterns. When they show what the garment looks like, they use real people. And when I looked at all the people who, I guess they were pattern testers and they submitted their photos, I found that the denim jacket pattern itself just seemed too short. I didn't like where it was hitting on their bodies. So what I did was I immediately added 2 inches just in here. I previously said I didn't do any pattern alterations. I mean big ones. Okay. So the ones that I didn't fully cut out, and I'll tell you why I didn't do it, are these two pieces right here. And there's a reason why. So this one right here, this one is the back center panel. The fold is right here. It's cut on the fold, so you would open it up into a full piece. And what I'm going to do is mark on the bottom, I'm going to mark just with a snip the center back at the bottom, and I'm just going to mark the center back at the top. All right, so the reason why I cut it bigger and I don't cut out the exact pattern piece is because depending on the embroidery design I'm using, sometimes it'll have a tendency to pull in the fabric, and not knowing how dense my design is going to be, I will cut it out after that design is finished. But that's where I am with this pattern. I did not cut out the sleeves yet. I still want to double check, make a comparison against my denim jacket. Everything seemed to be okay, so I'm going off of that, but I just want to double check, measure twice, cut once. All right, you guys, this here is the pattern piece that I'm going to put embellishment on. This is the center back panel, and when this was pinned on, I took a washable marker. Sometimes I like to use washable markers. I picked my orange one, and I drew a line about 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch outside the cutting line of the pattern. So the orange line is bigger than what the pattern would be. I also marked a line at the center back for the bottom and the center back of the top up here. Then I took it off and I opened it up and I used my ruler to connect the hash marks. So let me just bring this up a little bit so you can see the top and bottom. All right, and I used my ruler and I used my chalk pencil, my little chalk roller, and I marked that line right here. And I also marked the bottom with a B, top with a T, and then I aligned this. What I did was I measured the distance from this red line to this red line to give me my approximate center. It's going to be very close to what my center should be. I rotated this and I moved it around, and I also measured a straight line from here to here, and I drew that on my fabric. So I do want my crosshair on here so I know exactly where to put my design. Again, if I'm about 1/4 inch off, it's not going to matter because remember, I cut this piece bigger and this orange line was outside the line of my pattern piece, so that shouldn't affect it at all. But at least I have a guideline now. I also marked my measurements because when I took the measurement and I measured it from the bottom to the top, I subtracted my seam allowance and I allowed about another subtraction of about 1 to 2 inches, and I got the height of what I want the design to be, and I wrote that on my pattern piece right here. Likewise, I went this way, and again, I took away what my seam allowances be, the little extra beyond the pattern, subtracted about 1 inch to 2 inches, and I got the approximate width of my design. So I'm ready to go. I'm going to go over to my embroidery machine and I'm going to show you how I save some money today, because who doesn't love a good deal and who doesn't love saving money? I'm at my embroidery machine now and I want to show you which design I'm going to use. I saved money today because I just decided there was a perfect design in my machine under home accents, and this is a baby lock machine. I chose this one right here. Bring that in. I'm going to set it, and I'm just going to do just some playing around here. I'm going to rotate that 90 degrees and press OK. I'll make a copy of it, move it over here. I will rotate this one. Oh, let's see, right here, bring it over here. I'm going to put it down at the approximate center. I don't have to be perfect. And I thought it needed a little something more. Also, the sizing is off on this too. So before I go any further, you can see the size right here is 6.56. I determined that I can go up to about 8 inches in width, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'll press OK, and I'll go into size. I'll do the custom resizing, so it will do the automatic stitch recalculation. And let's bring it up in size. Let me see what that is. All right, so, okay, let me just see what that size is. Oh, let's see. What I'm gonna do is take this one, delete the one that's highlighted right here, and I'm gonna take this one, rotate it to the left. Let's see what I can do here. It might be a little too big, but I will find out. I'm going to copy it over here and rotate it, bring that into position so you get an idea what I'm doing here. I want to try to put it approximately in the center, and it's going to be something like that. Press OK. There was another additional design that was in this same theme, and I'm going to pull that one in as well, this one right here. Press set. Now this is actually too big, so what I'm going to do is resize that, and I'll do custom resizing, and I'm going to bring it down in size. I think that's the smallest I can go. All right, so I will press OK, bring it over here, and I'm going to rotate it to the left. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that would be 45 degrees, and I'll see if I like it right around here. Press OK, make a copy of that. So let's go to copy and bring that down here, and let's see what happens when I flip it. Okay, but I can't turn it upside down, so what I have to do is rotate it. Let me do 90 and 90, bring it down here, and then I'll press OK. I'll make, let's see, you know what, I think it's actually easier if I bring in another one, that same one, and go down, pull that in again. Easy to resize for me because I know that I went down to the lowest size. So I don't really have to pay attention to that size. All right, so I'll bring it up here, press OK. I'm going to rotate that 10, 20, 30, 40, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring that over here, and I will make another copy and press OK. Let's see, there's my copy. Bring this down, and I'll rotate that one. Let's see if we can go. Oops. Let's see. There we go. All right. And I just want to make sure my angles are right. I wasn't really paying too much attention as I was talking, so I might have to move these up a little bit, but you get the idea. And If I press OK, let's look at the size of my design. It's 7.14 by 10.72. I think that's pretty darn good.